This is the Overdue Homework Podcast.
Welcome to the show. That's Trav. I'm Drew.
And I'm Trav.
This is the Overdue Homework Podcast, and as always, we are here to give you our opinions on 80s and 90s media. Don't forget to contact us at podcast@overduehomework.com. Trav, how are you?
I'm doing really good, Drew.
Good.
I've
Good,
had
good.
anniversary since the last time we recorded.
Congratulations.
And Lauren's finally getting it through her head to get me some podcast stuff.
Yeah.
So she bought me a bunch of movies that either we're going to do or she wants us to do or
Nice.
whatever. So she got me True Lies,
Nice.
which we have planned eventually. Clue.
Clue. Okay, we need to do that movie for sure.
I've never seen this one, but Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Ooh, that's a classic. I remember watching that one with my family growing up. That was a rental one Saturday night.
Uncle Buck.
That's a good one.
I can't remember. I think that's the 4.
That's
but
good.
Pretty solid.
Yeah,
lineup.
definitely.
Pretty solid lineup.
Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter Dead is like peak Christina Applegate.
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
peak Christina Applegate.
And I love her. She's hilarious.
Yeah, she's the best. She's the best. She's had a lot of health issues lately.
She has. Yeah,
Yeah.
she had to drop out of that show or
Yeah,
whatever.
but she seems to be doing okay. At
You
least.
have had a vacation since we recorded last. How was that?
I sure did. A good old family vacation. We went to a place called Green Lake, which some of our listeners out there might know. Green Lake Bible Camp. I never went there, but that's where the Bible camp is. So every time I mention Green Lake to somebody, like, oh, the Bible camp, right? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I never went there, but sure. It was great. Unbelievably clear lake. You could go to where it was about 30 feet deep and you could still see the bottom. Unbelievably clear lake.
Nice.
It was really, really awesome. It was just a really fun vacation. We went with my mother and father-in-law, my brother-in-law and his family, and my kids, obviously, and my wife. We all went, and we were there for 5 days. It was a good time, and I had some words of wisdom bestowed upon me from my father-in-law, which was, when you have young children, it's not a vacation, it's a family outing. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty appropriate. It's a family outing, because Cam was a handful the whole time, but I wouldn't want it any other way.
For sure.
I wouldn't want it any
Did you
other
throw
way.
them in any floaties in the water? or
Absolutely, absolutely. We got Evelyn already had a life jacket, but we got Cam a little life jacket, which was adorable on him.
I'm
just
sure.
a little life jacket and a little shark floaty thing with a hood thing over the top of it, because the kid's about as pale as you possibly can be. He's not white, he's pink, that's for sure. So he had a really good time in the lake. Got a good couple of mouthfuls of water occasionally, but
For sure.
that's all part of growing up,
Yeah.
being in the lake.
something? Build that immune system.
Yeah, exactly. I got into the lake with the kids and stuff. It was a lot of fun. We had a lily pad out there on the dock. The dock was 30 feet long, so we were jumping off the dock and all this stuff. I got into the lake. I think that's the first time I've been in the lake since I was 16.
Nice.
It's just not something that I do, I guess, but it was a lot of fun. It was just a really, really good time. It was fun. I can't wait to do it again next year. It's become a bit of a transition, a bit of a tradition. There's the word, a bit of a tradition. So we can't wait to do it again. We think we're going to go back to the same place. It's not my cabin. It's not their cabin. It was a VRBO.
Oh, sure.
So yeah, it was just a good time. It was fun. It was great to get away. We had wonderful weather the whole time. We had thunderstorms one night. But that was it, and it was the last night, so it wasn't even a big deal. But
Nice.
it was a really great time. Had some day drinks, as one does on the lake in a vacation, you know.
Sure.
So that was pretty fun. It was really, really good. It was good. Lots and lots of fun. Enough about my vacation. Let's get to this podcast.
Let's do it.
Well, I suppose, did you do anything fun on your vacation? Because you kind of got done with the vacation yourself, didn't you?
It's not really. It's mostly a staycation.
Yeah, it's okay.
But my last staycation was when our basement flooded, so it was nice to not have to deal with that kind of crap. So that was cool. We did go to the cities.
Fun.
Went to Dave & Buster's.
Fun.
Dropped a bunch of money there.
Obviously.
Bought a few new board games at Games by James. But
Awesome. Can you bet on the games at that Dave & Buster's yet?
I don't think there's that steeplechase one or whatever that you were telling me about, the horse racing one.
Okay, so there was that horse racing game, that big Sega game. Which one did you go to?
The one in Edina?
Okay, I've only been to the one that's in Maple Grove.
Okay.
They got this horse racing game, which is it's got I think it was probably 6 in the front, 6 in the back, different stations for people.
That is not there.
But apparently Dave & Buster's is going to make it so you can bet your tickets playing against people on any games.
What?
Yes, so you can play Time Crisis and bet against your buddy playing also and win
That's
tickets
awesome.
from them, win tickets back and forth. So basically gambling for children, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm not afraid to go do a little gambling, that's for sure. That's for sure. All right, Trav, let's get to this podcast, huh? I didn't use any articles in preparation for this podcast. Like I say before every DBZ episode, go back to that first season, listen to those episodes again, listen to them if you haven't listened to them, and you'll get some information about Dragon Ball Z from them. But this is our DBZ double feature, and it brings to end our Summer of Dragon Ball Z. We did season 1 episodes 37 through 39, and then we also did the short non-canon movie of DBZ Dead Zone from 1989. Season 1 episodes 37 through 39 were released in Japan February 21st, 1990, and ran through March 7th, 1990. In the United States, it ran from September 13th, 1997 through September 20th, 1997. It was originally, the movie, DBZ Dead Zone, was originally released in Japan on July 15th at the Toei Manga Matsuri? Matsuri. I can't read. Apparently Matsuri Film Festival. So there you go. That was pretty cool. All right. So this episode, our first episode, is going to be Plans for Departure. Previously on Dragon Ball Z, Vegeta defeated. Goku demanded Vegeta's life be spared. What an idiot. Honestly, now that we know the series, he's not what an idiot.
Right,
but the stakes at the time,
what an idiot.
what an idiot. The Z Fighters, they're going to head to Namek to use the Dragon Balls there to wish everybody back. Those Dragon Balls are on Namek. That is a bit of a problem for our Z Fighters.
A little bit. I mean, not too big. It's only, just a short 4,339 years away.
That's it.
That's it.
That is it. Seems like a bit of a problem.
Kind of, yeah.
So that is why they need a Saiyan spaceship.
Yep.
Luckily, there should be one left on Earth, right?
There should be.
So as we join the episode, presumably the government is excavating Nappa's ship and taking it with them. So there's that ship. The government has it. That's not good for our crew.
No,
That's
it is
good.
not.
And Goku is getting his bandages changed, screaming, just completely screaming. It's not been pleasant for him, I don't think. His body was basically injured from head to toe, like completely injured from head to toe. There's no part of his body that is left uninjured except for his face.
Yeah.
That's it.
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
It doesn't.
I mean, I guess he was, crushed a little bit.
He
from
was
the
crushed.
Azura monkey.
He was crushed. And then he gets thrown in some sort of a healing bed, like straight out of Star Trek. They never explain how it works or what it's doing. He's just in this bed pod thing that's healing him.
Yeah.
Maybe? I guess.
Okay, sure.
We'll do it. Everybody in the room is giving Yajirobe a very hard time, and Krillin's impression of Yajirobe is pretty top-notch in
Yeah,
here.
it is.
I love Krillin doing like a voice actor doing a voice and then doing an impersonation of another voice is the best thing to me.
For sure.
I don't know why that just always tickles me so much. Like, how do you even do that in your brain? I just really love that about it. Then Bulma shows up with a new haircut.
Yeah.
Great.
Sure.
Sure. Did they really have to do that flash back and forth between the Bulma we knew and the Bulma with the new haircut?
No.
We're not idiots, right?
We're not. At this point, we're not. You made it to the end of season 1. I mean...
Even like a 10-year-old should understand that that's still Bulma.
Yeah.
They should let him. Anyways, Roshi is absolutely loving it.
I thought you were a hot new nurse.
Can't you be serious?
I was being serious.
Yeah, he was being serious, wasn't he? Because
Yeah,
Roshi's a perv. Bulma has some news on Nappa's ship. It's on TV and is in a lab in an isolation chamber. Bulma has the communicator that Vegeta left behind, and she blows the fucking ship up. Like, that doesn't, come on.
No. I can work anything.
She said that with such confidence when she said it before she blew up the ship.
Yeah.
I can work anything, and then it explodes on television. That does not bode well for our friends.
No.
Definitely. So what are they supposed to do now? They will never make it to Namek, ever, at this point.
No.
Never, ever. Sure seems that way. Oh, boy. What's his name? I'm spacing on his name. The cat dude. What's his name?
Poir.
Nope.
Korin.
Korin. I love his little catchphrase. Seems that way. Just he says it to everything. Seems that way. Maybe they should ask Mr. Popo. Who's Mr. Popo? the guy standing behind you on a flying carpet.
Yeah. I love how Goku kind of describes who he is for everybody. Oh, yeah, that's Mr. Popo. You know, he lives with Kami.
Everybody should know that.
Everybody should know that.
Bulma is totally weirded out by Mr. Popo, though.
Yeah.
Just completely weirded out by him. She doesn't know what to think of Mr. Popo. Not one bit. She's like, good news, though. Popo knows of a different ship. That's very lucky for our friends. Kami told Popo stories about the ship from his childhood. So they're going to send the only spaceship expert around, Bulma. She doesn't have very good credentials right now. She blew up the last spaceship.
Yeah.
But she can't do it because Popo gives her the creeps. It seems a bit racist, doesn't it?
It definitely comes across.
It comes across as racist. I'm assuming Popo is not an African-American gentleman.
I don't think so.
Because if he was, those lips alone would be extremely racist.
Right.
Extremely So I don't know why it comes off as racist to me, but it just seems to come off as racist to me.
And they have African Americans in the show, and they do not look like
no,
Mr.
they do
Popo,
not. They
so.
do not. She seems to muster the strength, though, and hops on that carpet. She crawls out of that window, gets right on that little carpet. Popo is at least ambivalent towards Bulma. He doesn't seem like he cares about her. Maybe he's slightly offended at her being all creeped out. He's so weird.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, lady. I just met you.
Yeah,
Like,
come share this carpet with me.
Well, they teleport the hell out of there. Everybody thought they were going to fly away on the carpet.
Yeah.
Nope, just a teleport. Bulma and Popo are now at Yunzabit Heights. It's cold there, and Bulma is only in a t-shirt because that's sure. I mean, maybe take a second to grab a jacket before you hop on the flying carpet.
Maybe.
So they wander about until they get to a dead end. So Popo hops up there, and Bulma has to
climb, I guess.
Just the way he says it. Climb, I guess. Okay. At the top, it's the ship. So what does Popo know about the ship? Only what Kami told him. The last time Kami mentioned the ship was 100 years ago. So maybe his memory is not going to be very good.
Probably
not.
not.
100 years ago. Kami has no memory of the strange incident that happened to get him to Yunzabit Heights. Zero memory. Okay. So he stayed put for fear of never being found by anyone if they came looking. He was there for many years before he left. They never say how many years. I'm assuming a lot because he grew from a child to an adult, and now he is like a really old man, and it's
super old.
And it's been hundreds and hundreds of years.
Yeah.
So he was maybe hanging around there with nobody around in this windy, cold place for 100+ years. Maybe, maybe I don't know. Okay, that's fine. Kami found the ship during his time at Yunzabit Heights. Somehow, through a telepathic link, is what I'm guessing. Kami was given a word.
Piccolo.
And that gained him entrance to the ship. Kami was sent to Earth before Namek was mostly destroyed, is what he ends up telling us. When I saw this, I thought it was maybe Piccolo's ship that he came to Earth on in Dragon Ball, in the Dragon Ball series to fight Goku and stuff. They don't say that's what it is. That seems to make more sense to me because if Piccolo and Kami are the same person...
Right.
Which, how did he grow up from a child if they were the same person that split as adults?
Because they show them split in the show,
yeah.
so that makes no sense.
So he must have false memories, or they just completely retcon this later on in the series.
Right.
That must be, who knows? I mean, it is a cartoon for children, but that's okay.
Still,
I demand more continuity. Well, we're on the ship now, and how do they control it? They
just start saying words.
Yeah, it's super convoluted right?
And somehow some of them are Namekian words.
It's just unbelievable how they go from having zero idea to Bulma being like, it's voice controlled.
Oh my God.
Like
we're leaving the planet.
Super easy, barely an inconvenience. But still, who knows how to speak Namekian? Popo does.
Yeah.
Of course he does.
He's picked up a little bit here and there from Kami.
A few words, like how to say take us to Jupiter. He picked up how to say take us to Jupiter.
Because that's Kami. He's always saying,
He's always walking around going, Tupuru Kupu Jupe. Right? That's what he just walks around saying.
I don't know why he's always saying take us to Jupiter. But...
And it works because of course it did. Of course it did. They get there in seconds. On the way there, Bulma asks for a toilet and a bed. great.
Sure.
It's funny, I guess.
Yeah.
And it works. The ship completely works. They get there. It's amazing. Now they did it. So they can get to Namek. Thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness we have a plot.
Yeah. And the panic is kind of there, but it's not real enough for me. You know, she's just like in her undies and a t-shirt,
Right.
and she's heading off to space.
Sure, great.
Well, sure. What if she says the Namekian word for eject or something? They're just
or
dead.
self-destruct, or
Yeah.
take us to the sun, or something like, I don't know. Right?
Seriously.
The Kurupu sun. That's not going to be good for you.
But, then we're over to Capsule Corp, and Bulma and her dad are working on the new ship. They have no idea how to fix it or modify it.
Great, so just start
Sure.
fucking around in there.
Yeah, shouldn't be too hard, just, connect a few wires here, press
Yep.
a few buttons here.
See what happens.
So they're just plugging stuff into other stuff and just seeing what happens, Bulma tells Krillin in the hospital the good news.
They found the ship, and it took them to Jupiter in 10 seconds. So Krillin tells Gohan and Goku.
Naturally. That's great that they have a ship, but news seems to have made Gohan a serious fella.
Yeah, like he is all of a sudden really pissed and scared about it. Like
Yeah.
he knows that he's going to have to leave again,
Yeah.
I guess.
Sorry, Mom.
Sure, I'm scared and pissed about this.
Yeah, I'm pissed. I really wanted to get to that homework. He knows that his mission isn't over. Now that Chi-Chi is left with Goku and Krillin sleeping, he leaves to test his strength. And obviously, Chi-Chi is pissed.
That poor boy needs to be in bed.
But he tests his might by hanging on the side of the building and doing pull-ups,
Yeah.
And he nearly falls.
Yep.
He can fly.
He can
mind
fly.
you. He can fly. Maybe he's too weak, There's definitely
possible.
multiple times in the series where it's like, you can fly.
You can fly, guys.
You're hanging off a cliff or something. You can fly.
You can fly.
You remember what Piccolo taught you way long ago in the season? Come on.
You can fly.
Then on the roof, testing his legs, he seems to be ready. Bulma's at the hospital with Popo. She has great news. They can make it to Namek in less than a month.
That is good news.
That's
better
really good.
4,339 years.
That's way better.
way better.
And they should be ready to leave in 5 days. Popo can't go, but he'll teach Bulma the Namekian she'll need to know. So who's going with her?
Yajirobe.
He says no way. But would Bulma even want to go with her? Of course not.
No, definitely not. Roshi?
Sign me up. Settle down, Roshi.
Just settled down. Goku.
Still nearly dead and in bed.
So he can't go either. Then that leaves Krillin.
Goku reminds Krillin that this will give him a unique training opportunity. So he has to go.
That's it.
Like, he's just reminding him, like, I'm way stronger than you, dude. This is your chance while I'm out for the count.
And Gohan, finally. Can Gohan go?
He wants to go. I
Yes.
mean, that's why he's been, like, internally pissed, you know. And Chi-Chi says, that's a no-go.
I want to go. That's a no-go.
He needs to go so he can help bring Piccolo back. Chi-Chi can't take this.
Why can't I have a normal family?
Because they have to save the world.
The world,
Chi-Chi.
lady.
She's putting her foot down. You're a child. Start acting like one. You should be making friends and playing baseball.
Man, the Japanese love baseball.
I'm going. There's no time for childish things anymore. He can't just sit around and doing nothing. Piccolo needs him. He needs Gohan to bring him back to life.
That's a pretty good need.
That is definitely a good need. Goku is proud of his son, so it's settled. Gohan is going with.
Yep, it's settled. That's all it takes.
They're meeting up in 10 days. 10 days have passed.
Just like that. It's like a cut. 10 days
That's
have
just
passed.
how it works, you know.
Don't
We stretch 30 minutes into a season, and then we do 10 days in 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Smash cut.
Smash cut.
10 days have passed, and Krillin and Gohan get clean bills of health. Goku tests Gohan, and a couple of punches to the hand.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes, you know. Goku now knows that Gohan is ready.
Yep.
You know, that's
Sure.
boom, you passed the test. On Roshi's island, the group gathers to say their goodbyes. Some nice fan service.
Very nice fan service in this episode.
And Bulma gets another haircut.
Yeah, and a spacesuit.
Sure. Sure. Krillin doesn't need a spacesuit. Krillin gets a new getup with a hat.
Krillin should always have a hat on. I think his character looks really great in a hat.
He does. He's kind of meant for that hat.
Coming from one bald man to another bald man. Krillin, wear a hat.
Wear a hat. Gohan goes in his little schoolboy outfit, and he's obviously embarrassed by the way he's dressed with a ton of luggage.
A ton of luggage.
But they're ready to go. Roshi tells them to be careful.
You'll never know what you'll come up against. That was a terrible Roshi.
Thanks, Roshi. Bye, Gohan. Mommy loves you.
That's it. See you later.
See you later. Do your homework. And on the ship, they depart in 5 seconds. No time to get comfortable. No time for nothing. Bulma's ready to go, so hold on.
Like, literally, they step on, and she's like, 5, 4. That's it. No time. No time.
I haven't seen each other in 10 days, but sure, 5, 4.
We're going.
In space now and on autopilot, Bulma is in a very hostile mood. Why don't you clean up around here? Then she goes to change. Chicks, man. Chicks.
Chicks, man.
And Gohan changes too, and he dresses just like Piccolo. And you really do like Piccolo, don't you? He says, yes, I do. To honor him, Piccolo is like a father to Gohan. Really, as we've talked before, maybe a little more of a father than Goku, at least at this point.
At this point, definitely at this point.
Definitely. Bulma comes out and is looking tough and mean. And Krillin doesn't like the sound of that. Why is she so pissed?
Why is she so pissed in this part of the episode? She's so angry.
I don't understand it.
She's just trying to be that authoritarian dictator type of captain or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. So we're still in space now, and we're cruising along to Namek. Bulma is already bored, and it's only day 7 or 8, and she's in her underwear.
Yeah.
Sure. Why didn't she install sleep pods?
It seems like quite the oversight.
I would say so. You need some place to sleep.
You would think she would have thought of that, but no.
You'd think so. Krillin and Gohan are training. They're image training, so fake fighting in their minds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
I don't recall them doing image training any other time.
Not that I know of.
It's still physically taxing for them.
Yeah.
They're exhausted afterwards, and they say that they can't let themselves get out of shape. You guys were just thinking at each other really hard. That's all you were doing. It's
right.
Whatever, they were apparently it worked for them.
Hey, this is what Goku was talking about. Unique training opportunity.
Image.
There you go.
Anyways, the ship is a mess. There's garbage everywhere. So why don't you boys get to cleaning? Even though Bulma is the source of all the trash.
Yeah, she likes to run a tidy ship.
She sure does. So Krillin and Gohan clean up the ship after a bit of protest. They didn't even eat any of the junk food. That's all her. She's drinking beer and everything. Ready to go. She's just getting drunk
in her
in her
undies. With Goku's 6-year-old son.
Yeah, that's okay.
Sure.
Sure. Back on Earth, and Goku is doing sit-ups in his full mummy bandages.
Yeah.
Even though he should be resting.
4 more sets to go.
Roshi feeling up that nurse. Classic
Yeah.
Roshi. Goku insists that he's fine. Everything, even though he could injure himself further by training. I guess the doctor, he is a Saiyan, so he does regenerate ultra quick. And even though he's already injured, him training while he's injured probably gives him a training boost.
Yeah,
right? Because every
probably.
time, because he comes back stronger every time he gets beat or he gets injured badly. So
yeah,
maybe it gives him a training boost. I don't know. He's just doing what every good Saiyan could do, I guess. Chi-Chi, she's on the roof now and she's missing her son. Promise me you'll come back safe. Promise me. Promise me. Back in space, Bulma wants to know what happened to Vegeta. Where did he go?
Definitely not Planet Vegeta. It's destroyed.
Since Vegeta and Nappa were planet brokers, maybe he went to wherever the buyer for Earth was located. Maybe he's already on Namek.
Ooh.
Who knows at this point? Nobody knows. We don't even know.
Oh, we know.
Flash to Vegeta, and he's almost to his destination in question. Back to Bulma and the boys, and there is something coming right at them. They can't see it until it's too late. It's a fleet of ships. They attack, and Bulma orders a counterattack. Seems logical.
Sure.
The attacking ships, they bug out. Then they see another ship coming right at them. It looks just like them. They're going to collide. But now they merge into each other. Turns out they got sucked into a giant reflective ship.
Yeah.
Sure, okay.
Okay.
Inside the ship, there's alarms buzzing, lights flashing, then suddenly they stop. Krillin wonders if there's giant, scary aliens on the ship. Krillin's always wondering about giant, scary aliens. Come on, Krillin.
Come on.
Well, it's not going to do them any good sitting there.
So let's take a walk and check the place out.
And that's just what they do. Thanks, Bulma. With Krillin, Gohan, and Bulma out of the ship, they begin to investigate. Bulma forgot to get dressed. Okay, why can't she go back in? I don't know.
It's freezing out here. I'll deal with it.
She just likes being nude in front of Krillin, I think, just teasing him a little bit or something.
It's got to be like an anime thing.
I
Isn't
think
it like
so.
just wrote in because
It
people like this?
It's fan service.
Yeah, right,
It's for the
right.
people watching. They want to see Bulma in some cartoon underwear, I
guess, you know.
Sure. They go off into the darkness, and then there's a bunch of booby traps.
First, it's guns.
And they dodge all the bullets. Bulma would have been very dead.
Yeah, very dead. Then it's acid ooze.
Good thing they can fly, and a Kamehameha blast to open up that wall.
Yeah.
Good thing.
Yeah.
This could be the place Vegeta went to recover. He could be waiting for us. It's not. Vegeta is still cruising through space. He must recuperate. He must recuperate. He looks like he's doing pretty rough in this little space pod, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's really sweating. The climate control must be all fucked up in there.
For sure.
Back in the ship with Bulma and crew, and there has to be a door somewhere.
There is.
It's a red door in the ceiling, just like a generic-looking red door with the brass doorknob.
Sure.
Okay, let's do it. Krillin flies up there and tries to open it, which opens a different door near Bulma and Gohan. Okay, I don't really understand
No.
like the logic in writing. Why not just have that door next to them just open?
Right.
Why is there a fake door in the ceiling? Nothing came out of it. Like maybe some bomb should have fallen out of it, and then they could like
Something.
hurry into where the other door is. But no, just a random red door with the brass doorknob and the roof. I guess we'll do it. So they go through the now open door in the wall, and it leads them to the third trap.
A pitfall that exists in space.
Yeah, that doesn't make much sense either, does it? It really doesn't. How
No.
do they fall into space? I guess there's gravity on the ship, but still, wouldn't they have been sucked out into space because of the vacuum? And if they're not getting sucked out into space because of the vacuum, that means there's some sort of force field keeping everything inside. It doesn't matter because they can fly, but instead of flying, they use like energy blast to get back up into the hallway.
Yeah. Sure.
It looks cool.
Yeah, it definitely looks
but
cool.
they can fly.
Apparently
Anyways,
they need to be reminded of that.
Anyways, they're in the hallway now, and their noses lead them to a feast in a giant room. It could be a trick, obviously.
Obviously.
There's a knife in that fruit. There's a knife in that fruit that goes flying at Bulma that pushes a button.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so the plant. What if the knife hit Bulma right in the forehead?
That was a risk we were willing to take.
They're like, somebody will at least die, I guess, but that's okay. It triggers one of those box and stick traps that you see in Looney Tunes, which is
Yep.
kind of funny because it's just a cartoon convention.
Right.
Very basic, I don't know who the hell set that up because it all looked very heavy,
Right.
but that's okay. Krillin and Gohan escape, but Bulma is too slow. That bitch got trapped, and she definitely overreacts.
Get me out of here!
Duh, they're going to save her. Duh.
Yeah.
Duh, they're not going to... See you later, Bulma.
See you later, Bulma. We'll figure it out.
So Krillin's going to blast that fucker off of her. All right, Bulma, get underneath that table. Seems inadequate.
Yeah.
Seems inadequate. That's okay. No need to possibly kill Bulma, though. The dome she's under dematerializes, and Bulma is roped up and held at gunpoint. Ow, my arms. It's a bunch of kids with guns.
Yeah.
I love it. Just throw some guns in some kids' hands.
For sure.
We'll just go with it from there.
Some Starship Troopers stuff going on here.
Krillin, don't just stand there. Get these kids off of me. Do it now. My arms feel like they're going to break. Krillin should have just been like, just break her arms, please.
Yeah, just do it.
So Krillin gets ready to fight some kids.
Yep,
I'm going to
yep.
beat these kids up. Don't fight them. If you attack them, they'll shoot me. So then what should Krillin do? Just give up?
That's what she's suggesting.
Roll credits at gunpoint. What a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
It's just so weird that that's how this first season ends.
Right.
That's how it ends.
It
It should have been a bigger cliffhanger.
Definitely.
Or there should have been like 2 more episodes.
It doesn't seem like there's honestly like a genuine end to each season.
No.
They just picked like, let's turn this into 9 seasons.
Yeah,
Like,
that makes
after
sense.
the fact. you know?
Probably.
I can't imagine this was the season they had written. You know, like they're already working on the next part, and they're just like, cut it off here. Like,
Season 1's done
it's done. That's 39 episodes. That's enough.
Do you want to talk a bit about the first season, or should we wait for it to the end?
Let's wait for it.
Okay, wait for that. All right, so with the first season done, we're going to move on to DBZ Dead Zone, and that was directed by, all right, I have the phonetic way to pronounce these names, so I'm going to give it my best. I may just edit all this out and say go to the internet. All right. Directed by Daisuke Nishio. Screenplay by Taka Okayama. Based on Dragon Ball by Akira Toriyama. I know that one by heart.
Yep.
Cinematography by Motaakei Kagami.
Hey.
Edited by Shinichi Fukumitsu. Music by Shonso Keikochi. Shonso Keikochi. I'd be really bad at learning Japanese, I think. Produced by Toei Animation, distributed by Toei Company, released July 15th in 1989 in Japan, had a box office of 1.36 billion yen.
I was looking at that like, holy shit.
That is 3.59 million in 1989, which is still a ton of money for a niche anime movie, right?
For sure.
And that equates to 8.99 million in 2024. The film was licensed in North America by Funimation, and the home video rights were sub-licensed to Pioneer Entertainment. Pioneer released it on VHS, Laserdisc, and DVD on December 17th, 1997. They used the same voice cast as the TV series did at the time, and it was dubbed by Ocean Productions. And like I said at the beginning of the podcast, this movie is not canon.
Right.
It does not participate in the story at all.
Right.
But it's still really good. Still really good.
But Garlic Jr. does come back.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
So, I mean, who cares? We're going to spoil it. So he comes back. Does that have something to do with like what he does in Dragon Ball? That it doesn't tie to this movie at all?
I just saw that it is not canon. So
Sure.
whatever happened in this does not exist in the DBZ universe.
Crazy.
Mhm.
Because he comes, never mind. Well, I'll say, whatever. All right. So we open with Piccolo screaming at some rocks.
Yeah, like he's one to do.
He's one to do. He's been doing that a lot lately. And he's getting his ass kicked by some shadowy dudes. Ass kicked to death.
I'll find you!
So Kami and Piccolo are dead.
Apparently, I mean, if Piccolo's dead, that means Kami's dead.
Right, exactly. Nope, Kami is alive, so Piccolo is still alive too.
Yep.
Kami seems to know something.
No, it can't be!
Move over to the serene home of Goku, Gohan studying cicadas.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. When the mysterious fellas from before show up, Ox King ass kicked.
Yep. No chance.
No chance. The shadowy figures are there for the Dragon Ball. Chi-Chi ass kicked.
No chance. She tries. She puts up a fight.
She tries. She tried her hardest, so good on her.
Run, Gohan, hurry!
He gets abducted.
Yeah, he didn't run.
No, he didn't run. Goku arrives home with a giant fish. Chi-Chi, what happened?
Gohan got kidnapped.
Where did they go? Usually kidnappers don't say where they're headed.
No. Hey, we're going over here.
They said they were going 3 miles to the east. Garlic Jr. and his goons, they have 5 of the Dragon Balls, so that's 2 to go.
That's it.
And then he can wish for immortality. Then he can destroy Kami and the entire planet.
Dun, dun, dun.
Gohan warns them that his dad is Goku. He beat Piccolo, but the mysterious goons did too. And Garlic Jr. sees that there's something special about Gohan, so that makes him his disciple. Which means he gets to live.
That's good.
Gohan isn't having that, so he runs away. Now we're back at the Kame house, and Goku lets Bulma, Roshi, and Krillin in on what's going on. He also takes the Dragon Radar to go find the remaining 2 Dragon Balls.
Hops on Nimbus, and he's out of there.
Love me some Nimbus.
So he can't even fly yet.
Can't even fly yet.
Can't even fly yet.
Doesn't want to waste the energy.
Yeah, one of the
like
two.
that.
One of the two.
But we're definitely, if it's not canon like you said,
Yep.
but we're definitely closer to like Raditz part of season 1 when it comes to power levels.
I would
and
even
stuff.
say that if you were to put this in canon, it's pre.
Before that.
Yes,
That
it's-
makes sense.
yes.
For sure.
That's my. I know it's not canon like we've said, but that's how I took it. This is pre Raditz saga.
That
Saiyan
makes a
saga,
lot of
beginning
sense.
of the Saiyan saga.
Because he's got Nimbus and he's
Yep.
got,
Yeah, he's got his bow staff.
the bow staff. Back at Garlic Jr.'s place, and Gohan is eluding his captors and getting high as fuck on some alien fruit.
It's a weird bit, a little bit.
Definitely a weird bit. Those hallucinations are intense.
They are. Kids aren't supposed to have those fruits. It'll make you weird.
AKA high as fuck. Like blue dinosaurs and rainbow slides high.
That's pretty high.
That's pretty high. Finally Gohan passes out, as anyone would do in that situation.
I would welcome sleep in that situation.
Definitely. All 7 Dragon Balls have been collected. That was easy.
Yep.
So it's time for a wish. Cue Shenron.
What is your desire?
I ask to be made immortal.
As you wish.
It just kind of flabbergasts me, that every single villain wants that.
Yeah.
Like, I just want immortal life. And,
Sure.
And the fact that there are things Shenron can't do, but this is right in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, I could do that.
No problem.
No problem. Make you live forever? Sure.
But there'll be things as the series goes on, that is outside of my power. Like, okay. I don't believe that.
I don't believe it either.
I don't believe that one bit, you lazy dragon.
I don't like that wish, basically.
But from this day forward, Garlic Jr. says, I will rule all. Demons come forward. I will rule the universe forever. My reign of terror will be everlasting.
It will be everlasting. Well, for him, because he's immortal now, I guess.
Yeah.
Your wish has been granted. I bid you farewell.
I will avenge my father's death. Goku arrives on scene. Get back my son.
You must be the famed Goku.
That's right. And you must be the guys who thought you could mess with my family.
Soon you'll be crying too.
You think so?
That's such a weird, nobody's crying.
No one's crying.
No, that is the exact line from the one line to the next line.
Yeah.
No one's crying.
Soon you'll be crying too. I'm surprised he wasn't like, who the hell is crying? I don't hear anybody. And he's just like, you think so? He's probably confused too. Enter Kami, Garlic Jr. 300 years later. Kami competed with Garlic.
Garlic Jr.'s father.
Yeah. For Guardian of Earth, Kami sealed Garlic in the dead zone, and Garlic Jr. wants revenge. Goku wants his son.
Don't worry about him. He's dead tired.
A.K.A. high as fuck. So Goku sprints into Garlic Jr.'s lair with Garlic Jr.'s goons not far behind. If you want to see the kid, you'll have to go through us first. And now for the formal introduction.
Ginger, Nikki, and Sancho.
The fight is on.
Why is that dude's name Nikki?
I don't know. When the fight is on, it's an unfair fight.
Yes.
But Goku holds his own, so the goons need to resort to their transformations.
Like gingerbread, fruity tooty, and my personal favorite, cheese.
Cheese.
What a weird thing to say.
God. All right.
Fruity tooty.
Fruity tooty. They grow to larger and more powerful versions of themselves.
Great.
Makes sense. Does Goku stand a chance? Yes, he does.
Yeah, he does.
It's freaking Goku. He fends all 3 of them off for a little while at least. Come and get me. Back to Kami and Garlic Jr. Nothing can kill Garlic Jr., not even Kami.
Dun, dun, dun.
Back to the fight, which is a great fight.
It's a really great fight, and we'll just take a moment to actually talk about the fact that this was made for big screens.
Yeah.
So the frame rate is higher. There's more cells of animation. The pace of everything is way faster, and it all overall just looks a lot better. And that was one of the things that I absolutely loved about this movie.
Yeah.
Was how good it looked and how smooth the animation was. They weren't taking like the cheap way of just doing like the flashes of them fighting and stuff. It was full movement, full flips, full everything. It was really fun to watch. I just really loved it.
And just like we've said with season 1, I truly enjoy the beginning when you see more of the fighting and it isn't just like specks smashing each other in the sky until they do a fight close up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that for sure. Goku is landing blows on all 3 of the henchmen. Where's my son? Watch out, Nikki and Sancho get the drop on Goku and fire of energy blasts. Just as it looks like Goku is done for, the blasts are knocked away.
But by what? By who?
It was Krillin.
Thank God for Krillin.
Thank you, Krillin. If Krillin can do that with these guys are chumps.
Yeah,
like
for
I'm
real
sorry.
though.
Like,
for
come
real
on,
though.
how is Goku struggling? And then Krillin just comes in. Yeah. The strength levels of these characters are very low, obviously, if Krillin can compete. And Krillin saves the day. How did he get there? How did he find Goku? Whatever.
I mean, really, though, how did he get there?
Seriously, like, who the hell told him and how did he show up? Like, he snuck in there, too. Yeah, okay, whatever. Anyways, Goku is glad he's there. I honestly think in his head, though, he's just like, glad a friend is there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think he actually thinks he's going to be this giant help when
No.
it comes to defeating them.
No.
But it's like, hey, my best buddy.
Yeah.
And a distraction.
Yep, exactly.
But, anyways, but it's still 3-on-2. And Goku, why don't you allow me to even those numbers? Enter Piccolo.
Hells to the yeah.
Hells to the yeah.
That was such a cool entrance by him.
Such a cool. You've said all these things that give you goosebumps.
Yeah.
That music gives me goosebumps.
He
the
struts
Piccolo
in
music.
there.
Yeah.
You know shit's going down.
Love it. Love it. Hells to the yeah. Everyone is shocked. What are you doing here? Keep cool. I got a score to settle with these three. I'm not here to help you.
Such a badass.
Such a badass.
I'm not here to help you, dummy. I'm here to fight these guys.
Morons. Then Krillin gets peed on. Yep, that happened. Gohan?
That's so weird.
Yeah.
That's
So random.
What is Akira Toriyama's obsession with people peeing? He's got an obsession with it.
He definitely does.
Especially Gohan peeing.
Yep.
Man, he likes to... I'm not even going to go there.
Yeah.
Back to Garlic Jr. and Kami duking it out. I love to see Kami in action. It's a great fight once again. I love everything about it. It's cool to see these characters that we don't normally see in these situations actually demonstrate their skills, because they always talk about how powerful they are, but we never get to see it, and now we get an opportunity to see it. So I like that a lot about it. Back inside, Krillin is tasked with getting Gohan, but first a showdown with Sancho. Krillin doesn't have to fight him, though, because Piccolo blasts the floor out from underneath Sancho, and then Krillin just goes and gets Gohan, because, Piccolo must know he's got no chance.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's Sancho versus Piccolo. Sancho is outmatched. That is easily said. Piccolo is such a badass. I would venture a guess that Piccolo is either as strong as Goku in this movie, or maybe even slightly stronger.
I agree. He probably is stronger.
Yeah.
Yep. Because I think he was stronger pre-Raditz.
Yeah, I would. Yes,
and
you're
then,
right.
The fight that Goku dies and then comes back, of course, makes him stronger. Because he's the same.
Yeah,
So,
that makes sense. Piccolo, he easily dispatches Sancho. Kills him? It seems that way.
Yeah.
It seems like he killed him. Back to Garlic Jr. and Kami. Things ain't looking good for Kami.
Now it's time for you to die.
As Kami is being dangled from a cliff. Kami powers up and throws Garlic Jr. across the room.
You'll pay for that.
Back to Goku and Piccolo fighting Nikki and Ginger. They have bone swords.
Yeah.
That was really hard for me to watch. The first time they pulled those swords out of their bodies, I was like, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Especially with Ginger, and it looks like it was like his bone was still.
Right.
I don't like that. It was too cringy for me. I didn't like it. It's another great fighting sequence, very frenetic, very fast paced. Everything I love about the stuff that's in this movie here. You can tell it was made for the big screen in mind for sure, like we already said. Goku's Kamehameha. I always want to say it weirdly. I don't know why. Goku's Kamehameha. There you go, Kamehameha. And Goku's Kamehameha overcoming Ginger's blast and killing both Nikki and Ginger was a great way for them to end the fight.
Oh, yeah.
I really like that. The Kamehameha just went blasting through whatever the hell that was that Ginger threw at Goku. It had no chance of even getting close to Goku. Back to Kami and Garlic Jr., and once again, not looking very good for Kami. So with no other options, Kami goes kamikaze. But enter Piccolo and Goku before Kami can blow himself up. It's a pretty good thing, because if he did, Piccolo would also go away.
Yeah. No big deal.
So finally, Garlic Jr. versus Goku and Piccolo. So now, that just shows you the level of strength that Garlic Jr. actually has in this, because they both have to take on Garlic Jr.
Right.
You move into the next season of the series, and Goku, even pre-Vegeta's first Vegeta fight, Goku could probably easily handle Garlic Jr.
Destroy him.
Yeah, easily handle it.
Even Piccolo.
Yeah, even Piccolo could easily handle it. But that just shows you how much they've powered up and how much they need to power up.
Right.
Garlic Jr., he transforms into a monster, a very muscly monster. Piccolo and Garlic Jr. are pretty evenly matched, and the same with Goku. It's another great fight. Bad news, though. Gohan gets buried in the rubble, and Krillin is knocked out. And at this point, Garlic Jr. is literally pounding Goku and Piccolo into the ground. I love how he grabs like both of their heads and flies through that bridge or whatever and just slams them into the ground. Absolutely love that. Absolutely love that about it. Time for Goku and Piccolo to get serious, so they strip. Off their weighted clothing. I should probably put that in there.
Right.
Piccolo and Goku on the same side.
Don't get too comfortable after this fight. You're next.
Well, teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah.
A simultaneous energy blast thwarts Garlic Jr.
We won.
Yes, he's immortal. Okay, we've won.
Yeah, it's always got to be at least a little false hope. You know, the
Exactly.
first time, every time.
Every
We
time.
won.
Time for Piccolo to take care of some unfinished business, namely fighting Goku. If this is how you want to do it, and this is exactly how Piccolo wants to do it. Well, there's no time for that because Garlic Jr. is still kicking. Immortal, remember?
I will never die.
No, you won't. You're immortal. So Garlic Jr. creates some kind of black hole to the dead zone. Where are they at in this movie? Where is their location? Watching this, I'm like, oh, they're in the dead zone. There's like a weird red sky. They're in the dead zone. They're not in the dead zone.
No, I don't know
Where are they?
Yeah.
They're just
I have no idea.
I don't know where they are either. I mean, they're on Earth. They talk about destroying Earth.
Right.
But I don't understand. I wish they would have explained to me why the sky is red and orange and wavy looking. But they didn't, so that's okay.
Yeah.
I could have gone to the internet, I suppose, and had it explained to me, but that's okay. So that black hole that Garlic Jr. creates is sucking everything into it. Piccolo's attacks are useless, but don't forget about Gohan. He is cry angry, so that means he's at his max power.
For sure.
and Gohan hits Garlic Jr. with his daddy bomb.
Daddy!
That's all he does. And is it basically a soul bomb or not? That's not the right word for it.
So it's called Final Atonement.
Final
or whatever
Atonement,
for
that's what
Vegeta
it's
when he just lets out his energy and like
okay.
a ball coming off of
Okay.
him, basically. So
Okay.
I don't know if that's what it is. Like,
It's probably what it is.
pretty
That makes
damn
sense.
close.
Yeah, that makes sense. Knocking Garlic Jr. into the dead zone. That was pretty easy. He's immortal, so this isn't the last time we will see him. Exhausted Gohan passes out. Garlic Jr. faces the same fate as his father, trapped in the dead zone forever. And Gohan has no memory of what he just did.
let's go home. I know your mommy misses you a lot.
That's it. That's okay. Our heroes leave, and Piccolo is ready for the showdown between he and Goku. Roll credits.
Roll credits.
Well, let's talk about this here. Final opinions in two parts. Let's give a little bit here on the full complete of the season that we did this year. So second half of the Saiyan saga. Impressions. Overall opinions.
Amazing.
Yes.
I mean, I love the beginning, like we said, where you can see the fights, you can see the martial
Yep.
arts. It's the introduction of my favorite character, Vegeta. So the build up is funny. Like, we made fun of it as we were doing it, but seeing them in the damn pods, one episode closer, one episode closer. But it was worth it because it was really good fighting.
Yeah.
You know, we got to see Goku on Snake Way, then
Yep.
we got to see everybody else go there. You
Yep.
know, it's a great season.
I completely agree with you. I think season 1 really holds up on its own as almost a completely different thing compared to like later seasons of DBZ.
Yeah.
It feels more Dragon Ball-ish, a little bit more story, a little bit less of them screaming at each other for episodes on it. I mean, that does get established in this first season that's what is going to be happening further on in the series. But like you said, being able to actually witness the fights, showing the grittiness of them actually really trying to physically fight each other instead of just throwing energy at each other all the time is really good in this first season. Overall, I think it's really great, and establishing who these characters are going to be for the rest of the series is really important in this season, and they do a really good job of it, especially really holding to who these characters are, what their personalities are. Akira Toriyama obviously wrote these characters, and that's what this is all based off of. His writing was really, really good. Did he write the episodes of the TV show as well? Did he?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I know it's based off of the manga, but
Right.
it's not. It doesn't
He
go.
had to at least had a say.
I would assume so.
Because I heard he was involved with Daima, and even though he wasn't writing that one.
Because
So.
I've never read the manga, so it doesn't go word for word for the manga. I mean,
Right.
stuff is different, but I'm assuming that it was all through his approval. So it was just really fun to watch this first season. for me and you knowing where the series goes,
Yeah.
to see where it came from was really fun, and to be able to talk about each episode was really a lot of fun for me. I enjoyed it immensely.
And I have zero problem binge watching DBZ over and over and over again.
No, me neither.
And something else I love about it, just compared to Super, for anybody that's watched Super, is how much more brutal DBZ is. Like, they show the blood and the injuries. And Super, they always just get more dirty.
That's
all the time. There's never blood.
There's
or
never
anything.
blood. I miss the blood.
Miss the blood.
Gotta get it
Need
back.
the blood.
Get it back to that TVMA rating.
Yeah.
Come on now. At least do 2 cuts.
Come on.
Do a TVMA and then do the one for TV or something. I don't know. Whatever. What did you think of Dead Zone?
I love all the side movies.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, and getting to watch it like we did after kind of progressing with their power levels and then going back is interesting for sure. Love me some Nimbus. I forget what the damn bow staff's name is.
I can't remember the name of this stupid bow staff either.
But I love it.
I love that he uses it, because he doesn't use it in all of... Does he use it at all in DBZ? Did he use it in the first half of season 1?
No, I don't think so.
No,
because he doesn't use it against Raditz, so he doesn't use it after that. He uses it in multiples of these movies, though.
That's great.
He'll use it again and more for World's Strongest Triamite, I'm pretty sure.
Because he used it throughout Dragon Ball. Like, he had it on him all of Dragon Ball. That's actually how he got from... what's the name of the tower he had to climb to get to Korin's lookout, to get to where Korin is?
I think they call it Korin's Tower.
Korin's Tower. So between Korin's Tower and the lookout, that's what he uses to get between the two, because it extends and stuff like that. So that's where it is throughout most of DBZ, I'm assuming, is connecting those two things together.
That makes sense.
So it was cool to see it, because he just uses it so much in Dragon Ball. I love to see it. I love to see him use it. He used it very effectively in Dead Zone. It was really cool to see him smash the 2 villains through with it. It was just really cool to see. I really liked it.
And that Piccolo music, I can't remember if that's like only in these side movies that they do it when he comes out, but I don't remember that very much in the series. I mean, we'll see, because now we're headed to Namek, so we'll see. But man, goosebumps.
Very much so. It's really, really good. And I like you said, I loved seeing, after watching this first season, it was almost like a reset.
Yeah.
And going back and seeing like what it was before, to kind of remind yourself how far our characters have come in just a matter of 39 episodes. I mean, it's a lot of episodes, but still, in the matter of one season, to see how far they've already come and how much further they have to go with our knowledge of where the series is going to go into the future. But just overall, the movie quality of Dead Zone really impressed me, and I really liked it. And I loved how my copies of the DVD, I don't know about yours, they have the cigarette burns in the corner of the screen from when they would flip the actual reels of film.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, you just don't see that on media anymore. Even, I mean, older DVDs that I have will obviously have that stuff, but any new DVD, all that stuff is taken out. I don't think they even have them in new movies, because it's all digital now.
Right.
So that was kind of a cool, like, retro throwback thing that I noticed. I'm like, oh, I appreciate that. It's cool to see that again. Things that you never noticed as a movie goer in the 90s.
Right.
But when a movie like Fight Club points it out, then it's forever in your mind to see that. And then when you see it again, 1, you think of Fight Club. And then 2, you're like, wow, that's nostalgic to see that. Makes me think of sitting in really crappy movie theaters with bad seats and unassigned seating and sticky floors and all that stuff. So I liked that about this. I also really liked the pace at which this movie moved.
Yeah.
You got a whole, like... If that was broken down into a season of Dragon Ball Z, it would be the better part of 20 episodes, right?
For sure.
At least. And they put it into 45 minutes. I have no problem with the pace of Dragon Ball Z as a series. It's part of what Dragon Ball Z is, the build-up, the stretching out of stuff. We make fun of it, but that's just part of what Dragon Ball Z is, and it wouldn't be the same without it. But I appreciated watching Dead Zone, and that was non-existent in Dead Zone at all. It was constantly moving forward. It was paced like a martial arts movie.
Yeah, to
which
accomplish I really like the story and as much fighting as in that in 43 minutes is crazy.
It is crazy, and the story was great. It was well written. It was fun to watch. It was fun to see everything. It's cool to see those different characters. It's cool to see characters doing stuff that you wouldn't normally see in a season of Dragon Ball Z. So overall, greatly appreciated. I can't wait. And what is Triamite? Is that the next movie? Is that the next one? World's Strongest is the next. I can't wait to get to that. I've not seen World's Strongest.
Fruity tooty.
Absolutely great. Absolutely great. Do you have anything else you want to talk about with Dragon Ball Z, Trav?
Not really, man. I'm excited to get to more of it. We'll probably be waiting until next summer-ish to get back into it. Maybe we'll start with 2 more side movies before we get to season 2. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. We will definitely see what happens. Well, that brings us to our homework assignment then, Trav. And guess what? We're doing Mighty Ducks from 1992.
Boom.
Yes, This is a personal...
This had to be beyond a staple in your childhood.
Oh, yeah. This is the VHS tape got worn out type of movie.
Sure.
That's for sure. Directed by Stephen Herrick, written by Stephen Brill, produced by John Avnet and Jordan Kerner, starring Emilio Estevez, gotta love that, as Gordon Bombay, Josh Ackland as Hans, Lane Smith as Coach Jack Riley, Heidi Kling as Casey Conway, Yosef Sommer as Mr. Gerald Ducksworth, Joshua Jackson as Charlie Conway, Eldon Henson, credited as Eldon Ratliff, as Fulton Reed, Sean Weiss as Greg Goldberg. Have you heard about Sean Weiss? Man, I'm glad he got himself straightened out.
Yeah,
he was looking pretty
I think
rough.
he's better now.
Yeah, he got himself
it was rough
straightened
for a
out.
while.
Basically living homeless with no teeth, being a meth addict. Like,
Yikes.
man. Brandon Adams as Jesse Hall, MC Gainey as Lewis, Matt Doherty as Lester Averman, JD Daniels as Peter Mark, Aaron Schwartz as Dave Karp, Garrett Ratliff Henson as Guy Germain, Marguerite Moreau as Connie Moreau. That was not much of a stretch for her last name.
Yeah.
Vincent LaRusso, credited as Vincent A. LaRusso, as Adam Banks. He's just a cake eater. Jussie Smollett, and yes, that Jussie Smollett, as Terry Hall. Danny Tamborelli, and yes, that Danny Tamborelli as Terry Hall. Jane Plank as Danny Tamborelli as Tommy Duncan. He's not playing Terry Hall. That was Jussie Smollett. Yeah. Jane Plank as Tammy Duncan. Michael Ooms as McGill. He's got no first name. Casey Garvin as Larson. Okay. Cinematography by Thomas Del Ruth. Edited by Larry Bach and John F. Link. Music by David Newman. Produced by Walt Disney Pictures and Avnet Kerner Productions and Touchwood Picture Partners. Distributed by Buena Vista Pictures Distribution. Released October 2nd, 1992. Budget of $14 million. Box office of $50.8 million. And has $112.3 million in 2024. That's pretty good for a kids movie.
That is pretty good.
Although some of these kids movies have had giant box offices as of late. But $112 million in 2024, it's nothing to sneeze at for a kids movie.
And I did get a watch in already.
Nice.
It's good.
Yeah.
But I did tell you already, I think D2 is better.
I would agree with you.
This is an example where the sequel outdoes the first one.
Yes.
I feel like this one's pretty serious.
Very.
Like, it is. Like, I just thought it was... The second one's more fun.
Yes.
If that makes any sense.
It does make perfect sense.
But, yeah, I like it a lot. But I just didn't... I think I watched D2 and D3 so much more as a kid that I kind of forgot... It's kind of a serious movie. It's more about Coach Bombay, I feel like, than the kids. It definitely is.
Way more about Bombay.
And then it transitions to more about the kids.
Yes. At the beginning, it is definitely more about Bombay. D3, I bet you I've seen that movie twice.
Really?
Yes.
You don't like it?
I was just kind of aged out of it when it came out. I was a little bit aged out of it. And I love D2. D2 is the one that I probably watched the most.
For sure.
It is the superior of the D movies, of the Mighty Ducks movies.
The Bash Brothers.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love that stuff. It was a perennial favorite in the Morehouse household, that's for sure.
Nice.
Can't wait to do this one. Can't wait to do D2. Maybe next summer. Hint, hint, hint. Maybe it's summer of sequels. Hint, hint, hint. Maybe a little bit. Who knows? Well, Trav, with that out of the way, why don't you... Oh, you can watch this on Disney Plus, obviously, if you have Disney Plus, or you should just go buy it because it's really, really good.
It's cheap.
Trav, hit me with that outro.
All right, first email today is somebody wondering if we remember the first computer game we ever played.
For sure. It was Wheel of Fortune on my parents' computer, probably in like 1989 when my mom got her first computer. Wheel of Fortune. That was we sat around as a family and played Wheel of Fortune on the computer.
That's funny because I do remember playing that now that you bring that up.
just that great MIDI sound coming out of those late 80s, early 90s computers.
Man, my grandparents lived for Wheel of Fortune. Loved it.
I kind of do now. I am not excited for Ryan Seacrest to be the new host of Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
Because Pat retired.
Yeah, he's retired. Crazy. Won't be the same.
It's not going to be the same.
Yep. I originally, when I saw this question, I thought, oh, Sims and Roller Coaster Tycoon. And then I thought, no, that's not what I did first. I remember being addicted to the Casper movie video game for PC.
Christina Ricci.
Yeah. For sure. And then I thought even harder, and I thought, you know what? Actually, it was back in grade school. Number Munchers and Oregon Trail.
Well, if you're going to talk, I mean, I've definitely played those in grade school, too. So those are some fun games to play in grade school.
Some classic computer games.
There's a really good documentary on YouTube about the Oregon Trail, which has got a lot of Minnesota ties. It was basically invented in Minnesota by some dudes that worked for some company in Minnesota. Go out there and YouTube it, folks.
Check it out.
It's really good.
I have the Oregon Trail tabletop game.
Nice. Oh, it's the card one?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
Die from dysentery.
Really hard to beat that game.
Very hard to beat.
Very hard. Well, I mean, original Oregon Trail was very hard to beat as it was. So
yeah, you'll have 5 people playing, and 3 will probably die in the first couple rounds.
Yep.
And then you'll be lucky if the last 1 or 2 of you can survive.
So when you played Oregon Trail in school, did you have the version where you could leave the gravestones and then other people could visit the gravestones?
I'm not sure.
So the version that we had, you could, when somebody died, you could put a headstone down and you could type whatever you want. So of course we type stuff like Mrs. Smith is a total bitch, and stuff like that. Then other kids would come across it and they'd see it and it'd be funny.
Right.
People would just put fuck and stuff like that.
Mrs. Smith, look at this. It says you're a total bitch.
Well, I am a total bitch, so I get it.
Yeah, understandable. The next email is, do you remember your favorite classroom game to play when you were a kid?
Oh, Heads Up 7-Up.
Heads Up 7-Up.
It's the only classroom game to play.
For sure. I mean, I loved trivia.
Oh, sure.
We do random trivia or mock trials before we were in high school, so grade school when it was more fun. I don't know. But yeah, Heads Up 7-Up. If you didn't play that, you didn't have a childhood.
Well, here's the question that our listeners want to know. Did you cheat?
No, I didn't cheat.
You didn't cheat? You
Hell no.
You didn't peek at the shoes?
Nah.
You didn't peek at the shoes? Nope. I remember peeking at shoes.
Always had my eyes closed.
Shoe peeking.
No shoe peeking. Drew, you shoe peeker.
Shoe peeker. The shoe peeking got so bad that we had the people up front had to play without their shoes on. That's how bad the shoe peeking got in our class.
That is hilarious.
Yep, had to have socks only.
Drew keeps looking at my shoes.
Okay, everybody take your shoes off.
Everybody take your shoes off. No, Mrs. Smith, you're a bitch.
I know.
So I got a couple questions for Drew because we do have some emails. I want to say I'm happy we got some emails, but I'm saving them for Mighty Ducks.
That's right.
Man, bear, pig. Yes. But my first question for Drew is, have you ever seen any cool, interesting comic crossovers that you wouldn't expect to see? Because I have an example of one.
Well, give me your example.
I never knew this existed, but I think you'll get a kick out of it. Wolverine and Predator.
Wow.
Was a comic crossover where they were fighting each other.
Wow.
And he was hunting Predator, and Predator kicked the shit out of him, I'm pretty sure.
I guess.
And then he, I'm assuming, healed up or whatever. I think it was he thought he was done situation. He left, and then regeneration. You're dead. You're dead. But, I mean, I haven't read the comics, but with, all this Wolverine stuff out lately, I saw that and think, man, Drew would think that's badass.
That is really badass. I don't really remember a lot of comics. I read Avengers growing up, so pretty vanilla stuff that I read. I read Superman and read some Batman stuff. I remember the Superman-Batman crossover stuff, which is cool, which was really cool. That's the one that really comes to mind. I can't really think of anything that's way out there, anything like that. But the Superman-Batman stuff was really cool. I read all this stuff when Superman died.
Yeah.
Oh, Superman died, and he came back as a bunch of different Supermen, which was kind of lame. And then he merged. Then the Supermen merged, and there was a red Superman and a blue Superman, and then they merged, and Superman was back. So there you go. Now you don't have to read that saga. I might be getting some of that stuff wrong because I read that in 1994 when it came out. So it's going by memory.
So my other question for Drew is: have you seen Deadpool Wolverine yet? That answers the question.
Nope.
Nope. Kids,
have you?
Man. Yes,
Okay.
twice.
So super good?
Super good.
Super good.
For sure.
Well, if you want to go a third time, let me know.
For sure. Lots of awesome cameos.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman's back.
Huge
Love it.
Ackman.
Huge Ackman.
I love
Yeah.
the side-by-side of X-Men from 2000 and X-Men now and the two Hugh Jackmans and how they're
Yep.
like completely different people,
Yep.
basically. It's interesting how Buffy is now and how Buffy was not.
Oh, man. That movie is...
Can't wait. I can't
Can't
wait. Yeah.
But extra question, because I never got an answer. Did you go see Fall Guys, and what did you think of it?
Yes, we saw Fall Guys, and I want to say, or Fall Guy, I want to say that it was a good movie.
Sure.
Not Ryan Reynolds,
Ryan Gosling.
and Emily Blunt
Yep.
are magnetic on the screen together. They
Nice.
made the movie.
Nice.
It's like if you like the idea of a behind the scenes movie that's fictional,
Sure.
because they dive so much into what's going on behind the scenes during the movie, but it's all, in a fictionalized way. They're not like explaining, well, this is a gaffer tape, and they're not like doing that.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
presented in the movie as
Sure.
they're doing stuff. If you like big stunts, if you like a movie that you can just sit down and watch and not have to like be getting anything out of,
Sure.
it's a great movie. I liked it, and when we walked out of the theater, I said to Kristen, that's going to be a great movie for us to just throw on the TV at night when we just want to hang out, you
Yeah.
know, and maybe do some phone stuff and just have the movie on. I really liked it. Ryan Gosling is amazing in the movie. He's very funny. The stunts he does are really, really cool. And if you like stunt people, they really get put to the forefront, and you really get to see like what stunt people do and the stunts and all that stuff. It was a good movie.
Nice.
People really panned on it and kind of shit on it and stuff, but if you're going for like a high piece of art, Fall Guy is not for you. It's
Yeah,
not a high
yeah.
piece of art. It was a fun, entertaining popcorn movie,
Nice.
which I'm cool with. I like that about movies again. Not every
Right.
movie has to be a super serious, gigantic universe.
Right.
Give me a movie I can go in, have some popcorn, have a gigantic Coke that's going to make me have to pee 10 minutes before the movie's
For
over.
sure.
And I'm just going to hold it and almost pee my pants every time. But it was really, really fun. I would recommend it, Trav. I think you
Nice.
guys would like
That's
it.
good to hear,
Yeah.
because I haven't heard anyone in person tell me what they think of it. I just heard on the radio that they were ripping on it, that it wasn't good. But
You can't take it too seriously. Kristen always says to me, what if that movie's bad? When I'm saying let's go to a movie. And I'm like, that's not the point.
Yeah.
The point is to go to the theater and watch the movie.
Exactly.
Sometimes you see a bad one.
right.
That's
but,
the
but you still got a
experience.
large tub of popcorn.
Still got a large tub of popcorn. I'm really sad to hear that Trap is getting panned. The one with Josh Hartnett, where he's like the serial killer.
Oh, I
in
didn't even hear about that.
It had me hook, line, and sinker with the previews and stuff,
Sure.
and people are like, it sucks. I still want to see it, though, pretty badly. So it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie. There's twists on twists on twists.
There's some crazy previews at Deadpool for sure. We got Venom 3
Oh,
coming
yeah,
out,
yeah.
Joker 2. We got Gladiator 2.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
And there's some, so I forget what his name is. Whoever plays Magneto in X-Men First Class, like the newer 3 of the ones. He's the guy in Wanted and
Man, I can't think of his name.
God, like Mirror or whatever. I think
Yep.
he's in that. But anyway, there's some crazy horror movie coming out that he's in that looks pretty badass.
That's great.
So there's a lot of good previews in that.
Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see all of the movies.
But that wraps up our final DBZ episode of the summer. Last DBZ content probably until next summer. But thank you guys for listening. Make sure you email us at podcast@overduehomework.com. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Overdue Homework Podcast. And as always, make sure you tune in to the next exciting episode of the Overdue Homework Podcast.